Hey everybody, my name is Dylan and this is
Dave. How's it going?
So today we're bringing you this old Mac. This is an old Power Mac G4 that we actually found in our warehouse. This thing probably has been run, I would say, at least 5+ years. Probably hasn't even been upgraded in at least 10 years. So just a little bit today, we're going to show you how to upgrade some upgrades in here: RAM, SSD, also a video card, and Dave's going to be leading the upgrade. So let's just dig right in.
All right, let's bust it open. Ta-da! That's how you open it.
So,
easy peasy.
Just looking on the inside, I mean, it's dusty, to say the least.
It is a bit dusty. I do have gloves for this. If it's my own stuff at home, I really wouldn't bother, but since it's not my dust, I'm going to put some gloves on.
Perfect. And it does look like we have 3 sticks of RAM in there. Let's see what size they are. Looks like, I'm not sure. Let's take one of these out.
Yeah, go ahead and pop it out.
So I am not seeing anything on this one.
No markings there?
No markings.
This is a 512 stick here.
512.
Yeah.
That one may be the same.
Yeah, that's peeled off.
Yep.
Old stuff.
Yeah. Looks like old Crucial memory. So we're going to be upgrading with some OWC memory today.
You got it.
So we'll start with that, huh?
Yeah, absolutely.
Perfect. So there's those. And these are, correct me if I'm wrong, Dave, but 2 512s? Or 4 512s?
4 512s, you got it.
Perfect. So up to 2 gigs today. Now, when installing these, Dave, is there anything particular that you should be looking out for, you should be doing, you shouldn't be doing?
You have some latches on either side of the RAM slot here. You know you have it seated rather well when the clips there actually insert into the side socket there. And there are notches that are at the bottom edge of the stick of RAM. It'll only insert into the slot one way. So if you're doing it totally wrong, it just won't go in there whatsoever.
Awesome. So pretty easy procedure to do this.
Absolutely. Easy peasy.
So another thing that we want to say is before this, we did test out the computer. It was working. It was running very, very slow.
Absolutely slow.
So we're going to kind of upgrade everything today, see exactly what the difference is going to be. Now, we're not going to have a percentage difference, but we'll just be able to tell you essentially how much faster it was. So what should we do next?
Let's go ahead and chunk the video card in there.
Video card.
Yes, sir.
Sweet, there's that.
Usually when I'm doing an upgrade of this type, multiple things going into the machine at once, I would close this machine back up after installing the first thing, test it, then install the next thing. If you just throw everything in there at once and you test it and something's wrong, you wouldn't know which thing it was.
Right.
So I would test it, but in this situation, it's not good video to do that, so we're just gonna go right ahead and throw everything in there and hope for the best.
So do we know the differences between these graphics cards?
Unfortunately, I don't know the history of that one or this one.
Okay.
This one...
To be determined.
Absolutely
we'll look into
that,
it
yeah.
after. Let's see.
And again, there's really only one way this card could go in there successfully. And it's just one Phillips screw that holds it down to the back plane.
And when upgrading to a new graphics card, is there anything else you have to do once booting up, or is it kind of a plug it in play?
Well, it depends. Sometimes there are what are called drivers, which is just a small bit of software that helps the operating system communicate with the card.
Okay.
Helps it do what it needs to do for you. Again, in this case, this card is about the same vintage as the machine. I would have to assume that it's just going to roll with it. Macs are pretty good about that, actually.
Awesome.
So
I
next,
guess SSD.
Yep. Yeah.
So let's get that rocking and rolling here. So currently, it looks like we have a 5400 RPM drive, and let's see what the size is, if anything. I'm not able to see it. Are you able to see it, Dave?
Let's see here. 160 gigs.
Oh, okay. So we're going to be putting in a 60 gigabyte, correct?
I believe so.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
And we did put the OS on before just because it takes some time, especially when you're going through FireWire 400.
Yeah, nobody wants to watch OS's loads, so we just went ahead and did that beforehand.
Great. And then can you tell me what exactly that adapter is? I know that with these machines, the G4s, they have the IDI or IDI or IDA?
IDE.
IDE.
Yeah,
Okay.
but even that's old now. Now it's ATA is what it's called
Okay.
now. But yeah, I still call it IDE because I'm kind of old. But yeah, it's basically a converter board that goes from IDE connection to a SATA connection.
Okay.
So if you have an old machine like this, you can still use a fairly modern hard drive in there and take advantage of the speed that it provides.
Cool.
I think so.
I mean, it allows you to use the technology of today in an older machine like the G4.
Absolutely. I mean, old school drives, they are basically becoming rarer and rarer as time goes by. It might even be difficult to find an IDE drive at this point in time.
Yeah, especially going into a 2.5-inch SATA drive. I don't even know if they make 2.5-inch IDE SSDs.
Well, yeah. I think OWC used to have one actually, but I think now we've gone to this bridge board configuration here.
Let's see. Looks like we got the power cords here and then the IDE cable that we're gonna have to use and plug in.
Yes, sir. All right.
I'm gonna move around this side. See it a little bit better.
Just glad I didn't have a whole lot of caffeine at lunch. And those pins lined up are kind of goofy. And I'm just going to get her plugged in before actually mounting the bracket into the unit. All right. So we did have some other screws right here, Dylan. Do we know where those bad boys went?
On top of that drive, but let's see. We did.
They roll away from us, and we're just going to hide from you now.
Yep,
Sorry.
now they're hiding. Let's see, are they in here? Aha. There's a couple in there.
Perfect. Thank you, sir. Wonder what they'd say if we just spent the rest of the video hiding under the desk. All right.
I mean, it's not like we're talking about monkeys or anything. But
Not at all. Not at all. Yeah, that's going to be a tough one. I'm going to
yeah,
swing
I
around
think
here.
I think what we'd have to do is we'd have to pull the whole drive sled out to get all of them in there.
I don't
So
think I'm
we're-
going to do that today,
Yeah,
Dylan.
let's just mount one of them on there.
Yeah, just enough to hold it in place. The operating system isn't going to care if it's fully mounted or not.
There we go.
Are we sure?
I think it's threading. Oh, nope.
Maybe help me line it up there a little bit there.
I think there it is.
There we go. Brilliant. All right. So that's about everything, I think.
So that's RAM, video card, SSD. Before we close it up and start booting it up, what other type of upgrades could you do to a computer like this?
Well, there's a number of PCIe cards that you could install in here theoretically. You can give yourself some extra USB ports,
Okay.
FireWire ports. There is a wireless card that could be added into this to give it some wireless capability.
Okay.
Beyond that, not too much really. You can add another hard drive. I believe you can swap out the zip drive here, which is really old tech, and I believe you can put in a hard drive in that slot as well. Give yourself a little extra standard storage as opposed to some outdated tech.
All right, cool. Well, let's close it up and let's start giving it some power and seeing what we got. Let's hope it works.
Yeah, well, I mean, we do have fire extinguishers on hand, or so I'm told.
So let's put the screen there.
There, I'll take care of that.
All right, cool. I'll get this guy. We are in there. Let's see. Okay, now it just looks like we need to plug in keyboard, mouse. We should be able to boot it up.
I hear it.
Yeah, it's alive.
I hear it. It's not making the yummy sound, but it is working. It's a young Frankenstein reference.
Yep.
I'm sorry.
All right, we do have the Apple logo, so it is booting up now. And what it may actually be doing right now, and what we didn't think about, is it may be booting up off of the hard drive still.
Did we change the target boot?
I don't think we changed the target boot on it.
Mm.
So what we'll do is we'll let it boot up first, then you can see how long it's taking. And then what we'll do is we'll boot up off of the SSD as well.
Now that's a long time. I mean, I'd go get a sandwich while waiting for that.
So we're probably around 45 seconds to a minute right now.
Yeah, right around there.
So just keep that in mind. Let's see. Well, while that's still booting, I'm going to clean up the garbage over here real quick, just so I'm not stepping on it.
Yeah, this has to be booting off the old hard drive.
And
this is all kinds of no fun. All
right.
kinds of no fun.
So can we power down the machine and then do a select boot?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Right, so let's do that. So let's turn her off. All right. And then what keys are you holding?
Just the option key.
Option key. All right, so we'll restart, and then we'll select the drive that we want to boot up off of.
Now this should bring up a small menu that has every bootable drive that the machine thinks it can boot.
There we are. So right here, as you see, OS X 10.4 SSD, that's one we're going to want to try.
So it's already highlighted there. Well, it's taking its time. It's actually polling every available port that it thinks it could possibly boot from. So that's why it's taking so long with that little stopwatch going on
there. So I think it's good
now.
now.
Yes, sir.
Perfect. So now we are booting up off the SSD. And just getting a resolution notice from the display itself.
That's not pretty.
That is not pretty.
That might be a driver issue from the video card install.
Yeah, it could be. So why don't we just we're throwing it out here. We're gonna take out the video card that we upgraded, put in back the original, and see if anything changes, because it could very well be just a firmware from the video card.
You got it.
So let's go do that real quick. Turn it down. All right.
Unplugging the machine just to be safe.
I've got the video card here.
Perfect. Thank you, sir.
I'm gonna take out the VGA cable. All right.
Teamwork.
These type of upgrades are not going to go flawlessly, as seen.
It can be hit or miss. Again, not knowing the origin of that particular video card that we had there, there could be any number of issues with it. It could be hardware, it could be software.
Right.
Not too sure at this point in time.
All right. Let's try this again. Hopefully we get a better boot time out of this. All right. So now put power back to the machine and start it up. Oh, do you want to hold option?
Yeah. Done.
All right.
I think that black square had already appeared.
Yep. All right, so we should be able to just select it now. I mean, you can definitely tell a resolution difference already.
Oh, yeah.
The previous graphics cards did have a much larger resolution compared to this one. And we do not have that black box either. Oh, spoke too soon. So we'll just wait this one out.
Looks like we may have some troubleshooting.
Yeah, so we may have some troubleshooting to do. So, I mean, this is a machine that we've taken out of our warehouse that we found. I mean, it was 5+ years old, never touched. Probably hasn't been upgraded for 10 years. So what we'll do is we're going to look into this, troubleshoot it a little bit, and if you have a question about it or you have a suggestion of what it could possibly be, is drop a comment in this link or in this thread. That way we can take a look into it, and what we'll do is we'll have an updated post just letting you know what the actual cause was. And then we'll have another video that we can shoot, not live, but we'll have another video just showing you what the actual boot time should be. So that's where we're going to go for now. In the future, we would like to do a couple more of these videos with this older Mac.
We would.
So if you have any suggestions about what computers to use, what type of upgrades to use, just let us know, and we'll be happy to do them. So again, my name is Dylan.
I'm Dave.
Dave. Thank you for joining us.
Give us some likes, give us some comments, and we'll keep this thing going. Thanks so much.